GDPR stands for the General Data Protection Regulation. So what's at the heart of GDPR legislation? At its core, it's about putting the control of how data is stored and used firmly into the hands of those whose data it is. As a member of the public, you should feel you know where and how your data is stored, and give and withdraw consent easily by being given the choice of opting in specifically, and being able to opt out or unsubscribe conveniently, and know that your data is only being used for the purpose to which you originally gave consent. For instance, if you signed up to receive a church newsletter, your email details should not be used to contact you about other things or shared with third parties. For the same reasons, it's important that people's data is stored securely and data breaches are reported. Parishes must comply with these GDPR legal requirements, just like any other charity or organisation. Ideally, at least one person on your PCC should take the time to develop a good understanding of GDPR and the implications for your church. But if this is not you, as a PCC member, you must at least be aware of the basic requirements. Explaining the jargon. Personal data is information about a living individual which is capable of identifying that individual. Processing is anything done with or to personal data, including storing it. The data subject is the person about whom personal data are processed. The data controller is the person or organisation who determines the how and what of data processing. In a parish, this is usually the incumbent or PCC. Underlying principles. GDPR is complex, but there are a number of underlying principles regarding personal data. 1. Personal data must be processed lawfully, fairly, and transparently. 2. It may only be used for a specific processing purpose that the person has been made aware of, and no other purpose without further consent. 3. Only the minimum amount of personal data should be kept for specific processing. For example, if you only need a name and email address, then that's all that should be collected and stored. 4. Data stored must be accurate and kept up to date. Reasonable steps must be taken to update or eradicate incorrect data. 5. Storage of data should not be for longer than is necessary. 6. Storage of data must be safe and secure, and any breaches reported. Legal bases for collecting data. There are several legal bases or justifications you can use for processing data. Churches must be able to justify data collection or processing by using one of the following bases. 1. Consent. People have given their permission to be contacted about something specific, for example, general communications emails. 2. Legal obligation. A requirement to collect data for compliance, for example, for gift aid or electoral roll. 3. Contract. For example, letting out premises or keeping employee details. 4. Legitimate interest. This is the most flexible of the legal bases. This involves holding data that will benefit the individual who would reasonably expect you to use their data in a particular way. For example, routine church management involving rotas, lists of small group members, communicating with people after a wedding, specifically in relation to that event.